Shall we go up?
I just saw you hear an incense stick ago. How come you're back again?
Am I not a water buffalo? And you, why are you here too? Are you slacking off?
No, I'm just craving some tea soup.
Baljan Tower is a majestic sight. Undeniable proof of the song's rising power. A noble ruler, and the flourishing of gifted
Today's
minds.
banquet
brief
hosts,
respite.
honored talents invited by the Emperor.
A brief
We must be
respite.
very careful. How are the preparations? Nothing out of order? If any fruit or vegetable lacks freshness, return it to the kitchen for replacement. Quickly now, fresh tea for our honored guests.
The Baljan Tower is a majestic sight. Undeniable proof of the song's rising power. A noble ruler, and the flourishing of gifted
Today's
minds.
banquet hosts, honored talents invited by the Emperor. We must be very careful. How are the preparations? Nothing out of order? If any fruit or vegetable lacks freshness, return it to the kitchen for replacement. Quickly now, fresh tea for our honored guests.
A brief respite.
Orchid Loom, Coral
A brief respite.
1112.
Mozi once built a wooden kite, 3 years to make, and 1 day to fall. Now the kite I've made can not only soar for day I've made, scouting the enemy day and night without rest, scouting the enemy day and night. It can also harness the firestone, whistle out commands, and lead the battle. But when has there ever been a kite that soars forever? Still, even if it does fall one day, what is more important is how high it once flew and how far. I have already reported to the prefect. The Jingming Pool naval exercises are in position once the guests are seated. This year, the Celestial Phenom— such a magnificent scene. If we don't enjoy the flowers and feast, wouldn't it be a waste?
What I heard is that military pay was delayed since the Kai hosting a banquet here. You're not really admiring cherry blossoms, are you?
Seeing through everything. You're not simple. The prefect, under the guise of watching the naval exercise. Indeed, it's to raise military funds. Now with the internal strife in Qinghu, he can't even take care of themselves. By then, the upstream— if we can use the—
What a brilliant move.
both countries have now sent envoy, pretending to tour. Prefect's banquet happened to fulfill their wishes. As for who is the mountain and who is the tiger, that will depend on themselves. The invitation is here. Please deliver it for me, young hero. As long as the message is delivered, there's no reason for them not to come. Once the guests are seated, the—
Today's banquet hosts honored talents invited by the Emperor.
Undeniable proof of the song's rising power.
Everyone's gathered to see the Archon. Why are you still standing around?
Those breaths still wet behind the leaders. Back in my day, my archery could split a feather in flight.
we're going all the way to the top.
This time, I will not fail my father's trust.
Judging by your noble demeanor, you must be an envoy from another country. Am I right?
Good perception.
The governor is hosting a banquet at Baojin Tower and has specially sent me to—
Oh? I've long heard of the fine wines and delicacies.
The Jinmingpu Navy is true.
Greetings.
Greetings, young hero. I am Gu, young hero.
The governor has prepared a banquet at Baojin Tower and sent me to invite you.
A banquet? This, young hero,
Sorry for the interruption.
No need for formalities. Young hero, are you here for the banquet at Baojin Tower?
Yes. Once the guests are seated, the banquet can begin.
Thank you, young hero.
The Quintident warship towers with this ship stands firm in the center of the army, as solid as a fortress. It is also equipped with 6 sets of giant stone catapults, each with the force of 1,000 cannons. Smashing nearby boats, big and small, is effort.
this massive warship is so huge, sailing from the north to the Shanghai region. If the waterline changes, how do we stabilize the center of gravity?
Minister Gu has great insight. When sailing from the Bian River system into the Jianhuai region, the difference in water density causes uneven ship draft lines. Sui Dynasty Quintident relied on manual sand and stone ballasting for balance, and that slowed down its speed. But speed is crucial in war. Improved, switch to water tank ballast, draw and discharge water locally, and adjust the waterline as easily as moving your arm. In this way, this ship can travel between the northern and southern waterways, as if entering an unguarded land.
Good. In the past, when the Sui dynasty conquered the Qin dynasty and unified the north and south, this ship was built to secure the Yangtze River. Lost to time, with the aid of the contraption techniques of the Mo Gate, it has finally reappeared. Once the final batch of military pay arrives, the southern expedition can be launched within 10 days. Honored envoys, although Xu and Tong follow the calendar of our great Song, Song regards both countries as brotherly nations. You've always been diligent with the annual tribute of money and grain. Now, Nanping and Wuping are in turmoil. The military governor of Wuping has sent a letter asking for help. The commoners of Jinghu are in dire straits. Bashu and Jiangnan are both along the Yangtze River, so they are likely to be generous in aiding those in need.
Jiangnan has already exhausted its national resources, having paid tribute 3 to countless gold, silver, and silk fabrics. It's really...
Lord Zhao, the military funds required by the Great Song have been transported with the Shu Kingdom's fleet. It is currently stationed outside the Huilong post, ready for delivery at any moment. Only 2 requests for the Song dynasty to fulfill. First, once the Song occupies the Yangtze River, they must not advance westward first. Second, they must hand over the restoration diagram of the 5-toothed warship to the Shu Kingdom.
Okay. Please, esteemed envoy, after the banquet, enter Jinming Pool. Admire the great ship and hand over the diagram. Someone, draft the contract. Since the 2 countries have already made a treaty, General Rong, please hand over your talisman and lend it to the Shu envoy for a while.
The Baojun Tower is a majestic sight. Undeniable proof of the song's rising power. A noble ruler and the flourishing of gifted minds.
The 14 states.
Despite the nation's decline.
The diagram of the five. Bringing the diagram back.
Huh?
How did this? If it weren't for damn it. The diagram of the five-toothed warship left after the Sui dynasty conquered Chen was originally preserved in our Shu kingdom. Bringing the diagram back this time will not let down my father's decision to make me the heir.
Huh? How did the Song State manage to build it first?
It's all because if it weren't for stealing the diagram and fleeing to
Damn it!
Before returning to Shu this time, I must catch him.
Emerald brief respite.
Orchid Loom, Coral V.
Brief respite.
General, why do you look so worried?
Young hero, you are ignorant. He fell ill a few. Since you are a guest of honor.
General, why do you look so worried?
Young hero, you are ignorant. I have a close friend, the naval commander. He fell ill a few days ago. Since you are a guest of honor of General Rong, if you have the chance to inquire about his recent situation, I will surely.
Today's banquet hosts honored talents invited by the Emperor. We must be very careful. How are the preparations? Nothing out of order?
Lord, the diagram is the highest.
Important. With you here today,
Speak. What do you...
Jinming Pul is currently concentrating its military forces for drills, leaving our defenses weak. In such a crucial military town, the envoy of Shu naturally brings only one close attendant. As long as you intercept the talisman on him before boarding, board the ship first and take the theft of the diagram not only would not count as a breach of contract. I could also first accuse him of the crime of losing the
Stealing from oneself. The thief cries thief. How shameless of you.
If we can swiftly unify the North and...
Young hero. The song's quintet war. If
In that case, I'll make a...
banquet is about to end, Jinming Pul.
Behold the quintet warship.
Exactly. The towering ship has 5 decks, stands over 100 feet tall, and can accommodate 1,000 warriors. 6 giant hammer poles are set up around, hanging high on all sides. And the ship's hull is as majestic as a grand mansion. Once the giant hammer falls from above, the enemy ship will be shattered to pieces. Wang Zhen's tower ship sailed down to Yizhou and dimmed the royal Jinling. It's been 5 years since Emperor Shuzong commissioned this pond for naval training in Kaifeng.
Breathtaking indeed.
This unprecedented in scale. I've returned my talisman. I can't go further from here. It's all on you now, young wanderer. The envoy of Shu has arrived at the palace hall. The Navy is conducting drills, and this place is heavily guarded. Troops.
With so many guards, how can we get close to the envoy of Shu?
Naturally. We'll first survey the terrain. The flank is well guarded. They have even dispatched elite bugle soldiers. It would be unwise to attempt entry there. By then, the entire Jinming pool will be on high alert, and the boarding passages will be sealed. The water functions as a natural defense. Even the most excellent swimmer will not be able to swim that far. With this distance, even the best swimmer would be powerless. A frontal attack is out of the question. The entire route is lined with officials and soldiers come to greet the later Shu envoy. An unwise charge will only alert the enemy. However, I've already left something for you to step on, at the mast of the Haihu ship and at the eaves of the hall. With this, you can spring upward and reach higher ground. Proceeding across the eaves, you could approach the water in front of the square quietly. The willows by the water will be your best cover when it comes time to dive. There is no way for us to get to the banks with all of those soldiers and officials around. Perhaps you could hold your breath and enter the outlet from underwater. This way, you will be able to approach their handover points and secretly obtain what you need to know. Before boarding the Quintident warship, make sure not to alert.
The military funds are at Huilong Station. After obtaining the Five-Tooth warship diagram, we can finalize the deal.
I still need to stay here to oversee military drills, so I can only accompany you this far for now. Please, esteemed envoy, take my military talisman and head to the dock to board the warship. General Murong has been waiting for a long time. The diagram is on the top floor of the ship. As you inspect the warship, you can take it back with you.
The authentic blueprint is on board. We will stick to the plan.
Your Highness, is this five-tooth warship really that powerful? Is it worth using so much military funds to exchange for a single diagram?
Why are you so unambitious? Haven't you thought about it? After occupying the middle reaches of the Yangtze, where should this great ship sail next? If not Jiangnan, then Bashu.
Your Highness, I understand.
What have you understood?
The meaning of today's banquet is, whoever doesn't pay up will be the next one to get hit.
Finally, some progress. This tribute of military provisions can ensure the peace of our Shu Kingdom for 3 to 5 years. Seizing this opportunity, if we work hard, we can also build this five-tooth warship. In the future, we might still be able to fight against Song.
Your Highness.
Why do you talk so much?
Your Highness, I wanted to ask, why do we have to personally board the ship to retrieve the diagram of the Great Warship? Could there be any trickery here?
What trick could there be? Even in war, envoys are not beheaded. Zhao Guangyi, that guy, killed 2 birds with 1 stone. Firstly, by showing off the five-tooth warship to us. Secondly, by taking the opportunity to retrieve the talisman. It seems the Zhao family is about to kill the donkey after grinding the flour. By order, verify the boarding talisman.
Excuse me, how do I use this boarding talisman?
Sail to the military port on the opposite shore.
Esteemed envoy, please ship and once the documents are exchanged, we will set off at once for the military port on the far bank and board the warship.
Stop!
Overconfidence.
Who goes You there? Rebel!
Intruder! The envoy has been murdered! Pass the order! Everyone stay sharp! Close the boarding gate! No one is allowed to
Tell me, is General... It can't be... Then why did she lock...
Stop!
Keep a close watch on the ballast room. I must say, that Lord's craftsmanship is truly divine.
For the others, you'll have to ask around.
Dawn is coming, and they're about to awaken. You have to get out of here.
No honor is owed to the honorless. The world is fickle. Hearts change easily. Will you collect his corpse?
Looks like he's quite drunk. Better check ahead.
I have drunk this cup dry of that, I am sure. This is clamor of war. Ends now. UN. It's no, I don't. The four sons of the military are now divided. It all started when he became the emperor and you. Hanging the portrait of the late Emperor high, refusing to serve the new dynasty, is nothing but a Zhao Guangying refused to pacify, quell the rebellion. But he broke people say ignorant of the fact. But he broke his people say him ignorant of trusted your fall to the if it weren't out of spite for my betrayal. How could your daughter have ended up like
This floor panel looks like it opens. Oil tanks with ignition triggers. Is it hard? If that ship blows, heaven help us.
I didn't expect them to have actually snuck onto the ship.
The command room is ahead. Let's search.
How about we ask General Murong if he's...
You'll trust some...
True. The entrance is already...
We're in trouble, brother. He solved General Wrong's contraption. Tell the General, quick! Stop him at the bow...
Are you there?
Stop!
You rebel! Who goes tackle?
for the realm.
Leave the quintident diagram. When Sui conquered Chen and unified the north, it was the quintident that secured the Yangtze. My goal in life has always been the pursuit of ingenuity and technical perfection. Born into chaos and eventually conquering the world. I should die without regret. But this path, the obsession is rooted too deep, and I find there's no turning back. Remember the Moist teaching of non-aggression? Wage no war on the innocent. Serve no lords unjust.
It's you! You tampered with the diagram. It's you who's trying to obstruct the Southern campaign!
What's done is done. No point in going on about it.
Leave the quintident diagram. When Sui conquered Chen and unified the north, it was the quintident that secured the Yangtze. My goal in life has always been the pursuit of ingenuity and technical perfection. Born into chaos and eventually conquering the world. I should die without regret. But this path, the obsession is rooted too deep, and I find there's no turning back. Do you remember the teaching of non-aggression? Wage no war on the innocent. Serve no lords unjust.
We find the